Hola, aquí Lu, estoy en un nuevo fondo hoy día porque estoy muy emocionada, no tienen ni la menor idea. Y es que hoy día vamos a hacer una entrevista con Sara Rsasch, la autora de The Nightmare Before Kissmas. OMG, no puedo creerlo, para mí eso ha sido algo demasiado loco. Ya les he hablado, si están siguiendo el canal o mis redes sociales en los últimos meses, de lo obsesionada que estoy con The Nightmare Before Kissmas. He leído el audiolibro, luego leí este libro que es la edición de UK, de Reino Unido. Podrán ver que tiene un montón de posits. Me encantó la novela y yo decidí lanzarme este año. Dije, ¿saben qué? Así me estrelle contra la pared, voy a lanzarme. Mira, estoy tan nerviosa que ni siquiera me he dado cuenta que empecé el video y estaba con lentes. Lo siento. Voy a lanzarme y decidí escribirle un correo al correo de Sara Rsasch. Le escribí un mensaje diciéndole que había amado su libro, que era creadora de contenido, de que era booktuber y que me moriría por hacerle una entrevista. Y pues yo no tenía ningún tipo de expectativa que ella me respondiera, porque incluso antes de The Nightmare Before Kissmas, ella ya es una autora, pues número uno en el New York, en los bestsellers de New York Times y esa cosa. Entonces era como que yo dije, no me va a contestar nunca esta mujer, pero me contestó. Y me dijo que se me iba a dar la entrevista y yo como que, no puede ser, no podía creerlo. Y pues hoy día es el gran día, me he preparado, tengo aquí mis preguntas apuntadas para, o sea, ya las tengo en mi cabeza, ¿no? Pero para tenerlas más claras en mi mente. Y tengo aquí los dos libros para mostrárselos, vamos a hablar de la novela y ya les mostraré a continuación qué onda. Eso lo estoy grabando minutos antes de la entrevista, estoy como que muy arreglada con mi vestido, todo maquillada, todo hermosa. Pero ya, estoy muy emocionada, ternuritas lectoras no tienen ni idea de la emocionada que estoy con esto. Y pues comencemos.
2 horas después.
Estoy a punto de admitir a Sara Rsasch en esto de meeting. ¡Ay, estoy muy nerviosa! Ok, es el momento, empezó.
20 minutos después.
I'm so excited to be able to talk to you today about the book. Yes, I have it here, the two editions.
Oh,
yeah. I already read that, and I have all this
oh,
and everything.
I love
Yeah.
it. It's so great seeing the books with the tabs like that.
Yeah. Let's start this interview talking about, obviously, The Nightmare Before Kissmas. How do you come up with this idea of a romance between the Prince of Halloween and the Prince of Christmas? Where the inspiration came from?
I always wanted to write some kind of Christmas book. It's just like I tried to make it originally like a high fantasy book. That's where a lot of my original books were high fantasy worlds, but it's never congealed. And then when I shifted around right after 2020, I was kind of like reevaluating my career and what I wanted to do. And I was like, I should try writing a rom-com. Like, just it seems like something fun and silly, and I really wanted something fun and silly. And I had never seen or hadn't seen a whole lot of Christmas romances about actual Santa Claus. I'm going to write a book about actual Santa. I'm going to make Santa King a thing. So I started from there, and like, okay, if we're going to have the North Pole and we're going to have Santa be the titular character, then the antithesis of that is Halloween. So we have to have Halloween as the love interest, because you love the juxtaposition of like two things that don't seem to go together. And everything just kind of like spiraled out from that one idea.
And it was really challenging to create this whole universe, where every holiday is like his own country. I think it's one of the most interesting part of the novel. I mean, how complicated was that?
More complicated than I thought it would be. Surely it's easy, just like have every holiday has like its own little kingdom. But there are so many holidays. The holiday has like its own like sub holidays and subcultures. Like Christmas especially is such like a global thing, and every area and like even within those areas celebrates it a little bit differently and has different traditions and different ways of seeing Christmas and what it means to them. So it really came down to having to pick and choose what I wanted Christmas to be in this book, because if I tried to make it everything that it is, it would have been impossible. Hopefully, like, I get to continue the series and can like expand to other holidays. But yeah, there's so many opportunities.
I am so excited with the sequel, because it's like with St. Patrick's Day that, well, in Latin America we don't really celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
so it's going to be a whole experience to read about that. Well, this new book is like it's in everything. I mean, I see it in Bookstagram, in Book Talk, in BookTube. Do you expect this reaction from the readers?
Yeah, I hope so. Every time we release a book, I hope it's going to be the one. I really hoped it would have been that Kissmas did well with the way that it did, just because it was the concept. I had a lot of fun writing it, and I wanted the whole purpose of this book. I just wanted it to bring joy to people, and it seems like it has, and that's all I wanted with it. So I'm happy.
Such a genius marketing movement that this book was like marketed somewhere like this a love child between Red, White, and Royal Blue and the Nightmare Before Kissmas. It was amazing because it was such a visual image for the readers. I mean, what the book was about. I mean, I found that really interesting. Let's talk about the romance between Anne and his son Cole. I mean, I found it so cute, so romantic, so sexy in some parts, with these like dialogues, like ping pong, back and forth. How important was to you to create this chemistry between the two of them?
I think, well, in a romance especially, it's like that's what people are reading for, right? So you need that to be like the anchor. This was my first time writing a purely romance book. Like in high fantasy, the plot takes precedence, or there's like the action scenes and the war and like that kind of like dystopic type thing. But in a romance, the overarching plot has to be a little softer and quieter because the romance needs to take precedence over everything. So it was just a fun new challenge.
No, and one of the things I love most in literature in general in this time is that we have such a amazing development in queer stories, in queer books, in queer movies lately. I mean, and with the tragedies we have in like the 90s when everybody was sad and dying and everything. Now we have books like romance, and people can be, in love and have amazing lives, and especially for young audience, no? But what is your vision about it?
When I started writing KISSMASS, and I knew I wanted Cole to be like openly bisexual and have that be part of it. I never wanted like sexuality to be an issue in the book. I never wanted it to be one of the plot points. Just because I wanted this book to be a source of joy, and having sexuality be an issue, like that's not a joyful thing. And also just, I don't want to write those books or tell those stories. I want it to just be like, it's just like a queer normative world, and we're just like having fun bouncing around in it and doing it. We have other things we can worry about. We don't need to worry about sexuality in these worlds.
I also love the addition of Dia de los Muertos in Cole's universe. I really love in Hex's universe. Sorry, I really love that part. I mean, it was so amazing. It's one of my favorite holidays.
Yeah, I love getting to explore that, and like in the U.S., they're really intrinsically tied. Those two holidays, having a Halloween and Dia de Muertos, so it was fun to get to share that, because from my perspective, at least how we celebrate Halloween, those two things they're very, like, you can't have one without the other.
Now the book is available in the US, in Canada, in the UK too. Is there any plans to be published or released in Latin America soon, or maybe an Spanish version? Because I published a book review from the book in my YouTube channel, and everybody was, yeah, I love it, so fun, but I don't know English. I can't read it.
Yeah, so I do there's some other language translations coming, not Spanish yet. I don't have much control over like what publishers choose it, but hopefully if there's enough of like a groundswell of support in Spanish countries, that hopefully a publisher will take notice.
Tell us a bit more of the sequel. It's in March, right? The book is in March. Go Let Yourself. Tell us about how it's going to be. It's about Cole's brother, if I recall. Yeah.
So that comes out on March 11th. It's Cole's younger brother Chris. He becomes an ambassador of sorts to St. Patrick's Day. So he goes to Ireland, and it's a big love letter to Ireland and to that holiday. And we get to meet Chris's love interest, of course, who is the Crown Prince of St. Patrick's Day. And he and Chris have a bit of a history where they're a little antagonistic toward each other, and so it's kind of like an enemies to lovers, like I annoy you to lovers.
Okay.
It's weird. When I put out Nightmare Before Kissmas, like I was never worried about how people would receive or treat Cole, because he was very like, he can take care of himself. With Chris, I'm terrified because he can't. He's a baby and he needs to be protected. And I'm like, I'm so nervous how people are going to treat him. He's just a little baby. Be nice to him.
We know him from the first book, but I'm so excited about it, honestly. And now that the first book was such a hit, how are your expectations for the second one, for the sequel? I mean, are you a bit scared? Are you nervous? Are you super happy? How do you feel?
Oh no, it's just, of course I'm scared. It's true. I feel like it's coming out so soon after Kissmas that I feel like I almost like forget that it's coming sometimes too. So I feel like it's gonna come out and people are like, oh, that happened. It's always terrifying having a book come out. It never gets easier.
Yeah, I imagine. And are you planning to write a third one, or maybe just the first two?
I would love to write a third one. I have it all planned out to do Iris's book and to kind of like close out the trilogy. And like I have, it's still in the works. We'll see. Like everybody, keep your fingers crossed.
And this question has been so much. I mean, I saw it a lot in TikTok, especially. Are there any plans like for a TV or film adaptation of the first one? I mean, I read it a lot. I mean, a lot of the readers were like, I need a film about it.
Me too. I need that too. I don't have. That's out of my hands as well. Unfortunately, I just kind of have to ride that wave with you guys and hope somebody picks it up, right? Like I don't know. I would love that as well. Like crazy. Like I was trying to fan cast and see what's going on.
But especially because it's really like graphic. I think with all the different holidays and everything, I mean, it will be a great adaptation. Well, Sarah, has been an incredible pleasure talking to you about about the first book, about that book. I mean, I think about two because I have the two editions.
I know, me too. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love your book. Again, congratulations for the novel and the best, the best vibes for the second one.
Thank you so much for having me and for doing this.
Acabo de terminar mi entrevista con Sara Rsasch. Es el ventilador prendido, no sé si se escuchará, honestamente no me importa. Estoy muy nerviosa, estoy temblando. Y creo que al final simplemente como que me puse nerviosa y le dije como que bye. Pero no sé, la verdad es que la he pasado súper bien y me he sentido muy feliz. Sara es un amor, me encantan los libros. Mi inglés no sé si fue tan bueno. Es que creo que estaba muy nerviosa por toda la situación, pero realmente lo disfruté muchísimo. Sara es la mejor. No puedo esperar por el segundo libro, estoy nerviosa todavía. Y ha estado muy bonito. Valió la pena la espera. Ya. Esto ha sido todo por el video de hoy, ternuritas lectoras. Déjenme en los comentarios qué les pareció la entrevista, si ya leyeron el libro. Recuerden que tenemos una reseña aquí del libro en el canal, que se las voy a dejar aquí. Y pues muchísimas gracias. De verdad que la pasé increíble. Me encantan los libros y ya no puedo esperar por los igual. Cuídense, bye.